Greetings. The following podcast may include stories featuring dumb people doing really dumb things, some nonsensical segments, and some saucy language. Consider yourself sufficiently warned. Now enjoy the show.
And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 117, I give Grease my Yelp review. The most ironic story in the world ever. Sylvester Stallone is still making movies where he's a tough guy in this week's movie review, and much, much more. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man in San Fran. It's Mr. Kush. Hey, it's Kush. How you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, episode 116?
117.
117, even crazier. It is the People's Promotion, the original Waffle Box. You accept no substitutions because it is the best part of Wednesdays, y'all. Coming to you from the future home of Super Bowl 60. You do this because we love you. We love you because you do this. I know I flipped that up, but producer Lathan, what's good?
What up, Kush? Sup, Mike?
What up?
I hope you had a great time in Greece.
It is.
I was actually planning on meeting you out there. Unfortunately, I was drunk when I booked my trip and spent 2 of the worst weeks of my life in Athens, Alabama. While you were watching the sunset from the Acropolis, I was being flirted with by Dirty Gertie. She's the expensive hooker because she still has all of her own teeth. I mean, sure, they're kept in a little baggie, but she's got them.
Fantastic.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's nice that we all had a little bit of R&R. It was nice. But yes, I've just got back from 2 weeks in Greece, island hopping. We'll get into that in a bit. But Kush, how have you? I know we haven't missed a step in terms of releasing episodes, but it feels like it's been forever since we've spoke. How you been?
Oh my God. Do you know I'm still dealing with nonsense from the Netherlands?
Really?
So I got my statement through email. I think the day after I got back, I'm like, it's a lot of shit is standard, but I'm like, what is this charge for 28.8 euros? And so I kindly sent off a letter like, hey, this is the only charge I don't understand. Please explain it to me. It's literally the only thing I'm disputing. I just want to know what it is. Again, with as expensive as that trip was, I'm not really going to make a big deal over 28 bucks, but it'd be nice to know what it was.
Indeed.
So no reply. Next day, send off another thing. No reply. By the way, I'm adding to the email chain here. But they have the nerve to send you one of those stupid surveys. By the way, like, how would you rate us? 1 star, 5 stars? And then they start going through the shit. And after like a week of no reply, I was like, I'm gonna let you know what I fucking think. Another week goes by, and they finally respond saying, like my whole thing was like, there's no communication. The communication with your employees is terrible at this spot. This is the Mercury hotel in Tilburg, Netherlands. Yeah. And a week later, they called. I was like, oh, sorry, they tried to write you back, but something happened and it got stuck in the draft folder. And I was like, you really just admitted that? Holy shit. So like, they should have sent you another one. Did you get it? And I was like, no, I did not get it. So what's the $28 charge? And that was a week ago.
So they sent you an email saying we tried to respond. We responded to your query, but it got stuck. So we're letting you know in a second email that we tried to respond, but they didn't think of putting what their response was in that email.
No.
Brilliant.
Well,
so you still have no idea what this $28 charge is?
Something from the bar, but I didn't order anything that was 28 bucks. I can tell you that much. Like, even with my doubles, and it's very repetitive. It's like, oh, here's 4 euros, here's 9 euros, 4 euros, 9 euros, 9 euros, 4 euros. Here's some breakfast. Breakfast was wildly expensive for what it was, by the way. But anyways, yeah, no idea what this $28 charge is.
Was it a continental breakfast? I feel those suck. I don't like continental.
It's like, I guess so. Here's a plate of meat. Here's a thing of eggs. Here's a thing of bacon. Bacon's always nice, by the way. But again, that was like 30 euros. or
Jeez.
something stupid. I'm just like, fucking hell.
You need to get to Greece, pal. My gosh.
Oh, oh yeah.
They think it's
Beautiful
expensive over there,
statues.
but oh yeah, with no arms and everything. Although that's now in the Louvre. That's the whole thing. Oh, I went to Milos, the island where the Venus de Milos was
Oh,
found,
okay.
which is now
Oh, good.
stolen.
Mhm.
It's now this is all the whole thing. But yeah, oh my god, it's so so January in Athens, the first stop. So we started off in Athens for a night or two, and then we went to Corfu. Then from Corfu we went to Milos. Then from Milos we went to Paros, and then from Paros we went back to Athens for another night, and then came home.
Paros, not to be confused with Paris.
No,
Okay, I just want to make sure you weren't
Paros.
saying it weird.
Paros.
OS. Dig it.
But yeah, like for
I'm also
example,
seeing a lot of pattern there. A lot of towns ending in the word with the letters OS.
Yeah, they love it. They love OS. But the only one that can come to mind was, so what we would do typically, we would go out, enjoy the local area, and then because we're slightly getting old, we need to end the night, by going back to the hotel and chilling out for a bit. So often what we would do is go to the local store, pick up some alcohol, take it back to the hotel, sit on our balconies, just chill, right?
Nice.
So at this point, towards the end of the trip, my duty-free cigarettes are running out. So I was like, I need to pick up some cigarettes. So I went to the store. I bought 3 Tall Boy beers. So, the 500ml Tall Boys. 3 of those, 3 packets of cigarettes. And then I like to have a nice can of Coke for the morning, just in case I've got a little bit of a fuzzy head. Can of Coke's always nice, nice cold. So 3 Tall Boys,
yeah, man.
3 packs of cigarettes, and a can of Coke came to $19.
Okay. Wow.
Like, what?
Yeah,
if only I could keep my American money, I would live in Greece because I would be a rich man.
Or you could just have that many more, whatever they use over there. Do they use euros over there, or they use something else?
They do use euros. They do.
Okay. Copy that. Wow.
But
not bad.
Let me mention some weird shit though. So overall, because as I said to you off the air before we hit record, I want to say Greece, 5 stars. 5 stars. Amazing. If anyone's thinking about going to Greece, do it. Go. It's amazing. Start off in Athens, because Athens is a great city, and then travel around a bit. There's so many islands, you'll never get bored. Just keep doing that. Because my favorite thing to do was we'd hire a boat, get some beers in a cooler, and just drive around the water. Every now and again, throw the anchor down and just sunbathe in the middle of the water on the boat is amazing. Anyway. But I figured, a podcast such as this, we've got a bit of a reputation for not taking things too seriously. So I figured 20 minutes of me talking about all the amazing things of Greece would be very boring for a handful of listeners. So what I did while I was there, I had my notes app, and I was just jotting down a few things a little bit strange, my little observations. So I'm going to go through my little list, and you can feel free to chime in with your thoughts, with your Western brain. Right? First of all, their plumbing is terrible. And so what they do, they suggest do not flush toilet paper down the toilet.
Oh, boy.
So what they suggest that you do is, let's just say you go for a little number 2, is to wipe your bottom and then put it in the trash can next to the toilet.
Yep. They do the same thing in Mexico at the non-resorts, the non-white people resorts.
And I'm almost, embarrassed to admit this, but I'm out of the country now, so they can't arrest me. But I was like, fuck that. I am not having my shitty tissues it's got a lid on it, I guess, but still.
Yeah.
So I flushed all my toilet paper. I don't care. I'm a rebel. I flushed all my toilet paper down. So, like, the fuck?
Because they have a small man, so I can't imagine you did much damage to their plumbing system.
That is true. That is true. I do have little poopies, little dainty poopies. But in the showers, what they tend to have is like an extra little thing where you can clearly, get in there and clean it. But no,
Mm.
I'm not doing that. I refuse. So yeah,
It's
what about
weird
you,
that
Plum?
they just don't have a bidet, honestly.
All that. Yeah, I didn't even think of that at the time. But yeah, a bidet. Get a bidet in. You're European. Learn from the French. Gift shops in Greece.
Yeah. So since we have French, a Japanese, and now a Western American thing.
But yeah,
Are the
totally
shops.
skipped Greece. Skipped Greece. Gift shops are fucking obsessed with penises. There were so many things, shit like dick keychains, dick bottle openers. There was bottles of olive oil that was shaped with a man with a very over-exaggerated penis. It was just lots of penises, right? Which, hey, if that's your thing, but what got me thinking is they've missed out an opportunity. If you're going to sell dick keychains and dick bottle openers, they should sell vagina bottle openers and vagina keychains, because then you're making twice the money. Because if I'm the kind of person that buys a dick keychain, you're goddamn right I'm buying the vagina one to go with it. And then when I'm drunk, drinking beers, I'm having bottle opener sex. Missing out.
Yeah,
right?
that's why they're not selling those vagina keychains.
Are you telling me if you buy a dick keychain, you're not buying the vagina one? You're buying both.
I mean, I'm probably not buying either of them, but that's why they specifically don't want Mike Fish making sex with the keychains.
Well, I'd wait until I got home behind closed doors. I'm not that weird. I'm not savage.
They would still know Mike Fish. They would still know.
If you think TV news over in America is weird, you haven't seen anything yet. In Greece, right? So apparently,
Are
while
their
I was
dicks
there,
out?
no, that'd been funny. But while I was in, where was I? I think I was in Corfu at the time. So I was off the mainland, luckily. But there was news in Athens. Apparently, some dude, I couldn't understand what they were saying. They were speaking in Greek, as I understand. But they were showing a video of a man who got shot in the street. And they just showed the CCTV footage. Like they did this really crude blurring out. But it was very clear this man walked up to another human being, bang, in his head, and he fell to the ground. I was like, holy shit, they just fucking showed that. And then the next story, straight away, just a cold cut, they were talking about something, and I used my Google Translate thing, held it up to the screen, and the next story after man gets shot in the face was, traffic's been a bit busy lately, isn't it? It was a traffic story just straight after the... Oh, wait, what? It was so big.
I was expecting to be something about like a puppy brigade or new Paw Patrol movies out. Isn't that exciting?
Bizarre, very bizarre. Next one. Oh, here's a good. So apparently, right, what I found, this is how you could get away with something really fun in Greece if you've got a lazy server at a bar. Right. So I noticed very early on, like, let's say you sit at a table and someone comes around, and you go, oh, would you like a drink? And I say, oh, yes, we'll have 3 beers and a glass of wine, right? When they bring you the 3 beers and a glass of wine, they plop down a little receipt that says you've had 3 beers and the wine. This is how much your tab is so far. And then you order another round and they come back and plop down a second one. And at the end, they take away all the receipts and give you a check, right? And I was like, that seems odd. That seems like a waste of paper. Why are you doing this?
Sure.
Right? You just wait. Until eventually, in one place, I was reading the back of the menu, and there was some legal stuff on it. And apparently, in Greece, at bars and restaurants, I can't remember the exact wording of it, but it basically says that the customer has no obligation to pay unless notice of payment is delivered or something like that. So basically, if someone's being lazy and not doing their job and they drop your drinks and you finish those drinks before they get the chance to drop the receipt, you can fuck off and not pay because you didn't give me a receipt. So how was I supposed to know I was supposed to pay for these drinks? It's like, what?
Oh boy.
That seems like a very odd law and a bad system.
Do
Greece.
not tell the people from the Midwest that there's some they they can slam beers back very quickly. They will bankrupt the entire Greek government in bar tabs.
If I'd have known that, because I'm almost certain I went to some places where I didn't get that. But anyway, never mind.
How
Next
am I
thing
going
that
to feed my children penis-shaped cheese from goats? What the fuck?
street performers, lots of street performers in Greece, and they are all I don't say all, but they are all terrible, right? There was this one guy, I knew I was going to do this, so I wish I'd have bought a prop, but I forgot to. But there was this one, like, it happened on one occasion, and I thought that's weird, where literally there's a guy walking around with just like oboe or something, or clarinet maybe, and he literally goes, and then takes off his hat and starts walking around. So that was it. You played like 5 notes, and I thought, oh, that's terrible.
Hilarious.
And then about 2 days later, different guy, he at least added something to it. He went, Maria. Like he said, Maria. He just sang Maria's name. Same thing. Started walking around the whole bar. Come, like, work for your stuff here, pal. Terrible. And then we get to the disgusting stuff, right? So obviously everyone knows Gilos or heroes are big in Greece. Fantastic. And
gyros.
So, but a lot of restaurants, what they'll have, so you can go to like these places where you can just buy a hero and it's there, it's fully made up, fully wrapped for you. Happy days with the meat, the veg, the tzatziki sauce, the fries. It's lovely. But some restaurants where maybe they want to try to seem like a bit of a finer dining, they'll deliver it to you kind of like with all the ingredients, and it's kind of like build your own gyro, so you have to do it yourself, which is weird, but whatever. So we was at one place, and lots of stray cats also, by the way, in Greece. Lots of stray cats. At first I thought this is weird, it's disgusting, but then I actually started talking to someone who lives there, and basically the restaurants feed the stray cats because what I didn't know is apparently there's lots of snakes in Greece as well. And so the restaurateurs, to not lose any customers, because there's a lot of outside seating, because it's Greece, so it's fucking Greece, they will feed the stray cats, and basically the stray cats will walk around, see a snake, I'll have you. They protect the restaurant from the snakes. It's kind of like a cat mafia, where they have to, you got my protection food? Huh? You got my protection food? So anyway, this one stray cat, they're all adorable, by the way. I don't know how, because I guess they sleep nice in the restaurant, by the restaurants, and they get nice food from the restaurants, but they're adorable cats. I'm not a cat person normally, but these cats were adorable. So this one cat's walking around this restaurant, and this woman, I could see her, she's English, I could hear it in her voice. And the server drops down her build your own gyro. And before she does that, she decides, you know what, this cat is adorable, and just starts stroking this stray cat. Aren't you adorable? Starts stroking the stray cat. And in one smooth motion, she takes her hand from the back of the stray cat, boom, starts building her food and putting that food straight in her fucking mouth. It was
That bitch was like, "Excuse me, waiter, could I order a gyro, please? Could I have it with extra roundworms, but you can hold the onions?
Yeah.
Thank you kindly."
Like, why? It's
just... I am a cat person, and that is, I also find that gross. Yeah. It's not up there, though, with like people who kiss their dogs after their dog is like ate shit off the lawn. That I do not understand at all. But that didn't happen in Greece, so back to Greece.
Well, even then, because my dog, I have a dog. She's adorable and she's very clean. I take very good care of her. But even I wouldn't stroke my dog and then directly put my hands on food. That's weird. Especially a stray cat. Next
You
one.
think she was a
Next one.
local, or you think she was?
No,
also
she was
a
English.
tourist?
You could definitely tell in her voice. She was
Oh, you
from
said
my
that.
neck of the
You
woods.
said that. I'm sorry.
Because she
Gotcha.
talked like this. Oh, ain't this a nice cat? Oh, look at that. Oh, sounds exactly like, even hurt my ears. Tourists. I know it's a bit weird. I was a tourist, but here I am knocking tourists. But we went to the Acropolis, which is, you know, you have to do if you go to Athens, you go to the Acropolis. Fun fact, most of the pictures you see of the Acropolis aren't the Acropolis. It's just one of the building. The Acropolis is the whole top of the thing. The whole thing is the Acropolis, but many people take a picture of, I can't remember, is it the Pantheon or something? There's something in the Acropolis. It's a building in the Acropolis, but it isn't the Acropolis. It's kind of like when people think they're taking a picture of Big Ben in London, where you actually can't see Big Ben in London because Big Ben is the bell inside the tower.
Oh, it's not the tower? I always thought it was
No,
the tower.
Big Ben is the bell inside.
What would we do
Fun
without you?
fact. Fun fact.
Just the facts, ma'am.
That
Thank
was a
you.
fun
Nathan.
fact.
But yeah, so everyone was we were surrounded by hundreds of people, right? And they all, I don't know whether they all watched Zoolander the night before, but the poses that some of these people were trying to do, like, do you people not have any shame of like the weird, because they obviously they're doing it for the gram, right? Or TikTok or whatever. I don't know what the kids are doing now, but it's like you're literally everyone's watching you and you're doing these weird like, poses. There was one, right? And if you're watching the video version, pay close attention to my face, right? And if for those audio listeners, I will describe this, right? But there's this one woman, right, who was getting her poor boyfriend or husband, who he looked sick of it now. He looked over it, like, geez, can I just get a beer now? Like, I'm done being your personal photographer. But she was standing there, and I'll take my glasses off, right? And she was like, okay, right, you ready? You ready? And then she did that. She went,
Mike
Like-
is kind of doing a half shrug, and his face is buried into his actual shoulder, kind of like he's looking down. Though I would have said his face was buried in his shoulder.
Well,
For the listeners at home.
I described it to the people that I was with, and I did the best to jot it down to remember it. But this is because I was drunk a lot of the time as well when I was doing these notes. So the next day I was rereading my notes, going, "What the fuck is that?" So this is for those audio listeners. This is how drunk me in my notes app described what this woman looked like. Quote: one woman posed as if she was sad, but not too sad, as if her goldfish had just died, but she only had it for 2 weeks. So she was sad that the goldfish had died, but also sad because she only managed to keep it alive for 2 weeks. That's how I described that look. I thought that's a pretty good description, actually. But yeah, it was very bizarre.
Made sense at the time.
Very bizarre. And then last observation. And I don't think this is necessarily a Greece thing. This is more of anything. But we did go on a food tour in Athens, right? Because there's lots of food. I think it's a nice, simple way to do. If we was only there for a couple of days, hey, we want to experience stuff. Fuck it, let's be tourists for a day. And we went on this food tour. We had this local taking us around some of the restaurants, and there was one couple who was there from New Zealand. I can't remember their names, but they were like asking way too many personal questions of me. Like, because it's the standard one, like, by all means, right? Be the whole, hey, what's your name? Where you from? Just because, hey, we're going to be spending a couple of hours together. Let's at least be friendly. And so we talked to each other. But this dude was just following me around. He was like, just asked me like my name, where I'm from. Oh, but you're originally from England. When did you move to America? Why did you move to America? What do you do in America? What do you like about America? What's the difference between England? And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, we are literally never going to see each other again. You don't need to know this much about me. It was like, and I would have thought eventually he would have got the hint because I was just giving him as short answers as I could and not asking them back. So it was very clear that I did not care about him, but he just kept on going. But it was fucking intense.
You know that I love you, Mike, but I would laugh my AI-generated ass off if they were listening to the show right now.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate. who went down from 5 to 3 listeners because I've just pissed off some couple in New Zealand. But there you go. But yeah, that was my Greece trip in a nutshell.
Oh, the weird stuff doesn't sound terribly weird, but yeah, I don't think I'll ever be heading towards Greece. Just too hot, too many goddamn cats, goat cheese, and penis shape everything. Like the penis shape stuff is like the least of my problems. Like,
yeah, they don't have many cows there, so all the milk is goat and sheep.
Yeah, gonna hard pass on Greece. Hard pass on Greece.
And yes, if you don't like hot
I'm glad
weather,
you had fun.
It is hot as shit.
I do not. I got 2 fans running right now, and we're just in San Francisco. We haven't even started our autumn yet.
Because what was one of the problems in the last couple of days was that they had sometimes it gets very windy on the islands. And one day it was like super windy. Like, you know, that kind of wind where like you like was laying in we was just waking up in our beds in the hotel and you can hear outside like that, you know, it's
wow,
like a really like a ghost is like trying to wake
like
you up.
A banshee.
And so that day, I was like, well, I'll still wear shorts because it's nice out. But I was wearing like a t-shirt, an undershirt to my shirt. I was like, oh, okay. But even then, but it was a problem because I'd laid up now. We was out and about, windy. So when it was windy, I was like, oh, this is cold. But as soon as the wind died down, like instantly, I was like, oh, fuck me, I'm sweating. This is so fucking hot. It was miserable. That was a miserable day.
Yeah. Surprised you didn't get sick.
Me too, actually. I was quite proud of myself because no, I did. You know, I have a sensitive little tummy. But yeah, because I was very worried.
I mean, I just mean the change in the weather, just the constant change of weather. Like the infamous cruise ship that I went on. You know, like every deck was different. So like I ended up getting sick because, you know, 1 second it's 67 degrees, next deck is 72 degrees, and then of course you go outside and it's 84 degrees, but then you go back into another deck and it's back to 69 degrees.
Ew.
And that made me one sick puppy.
Bless you. Well, and you are a redhead, so he doesn't.
And I'm a redhead.
Anyway, well, that's Greece in a nutshell. Let's crack on, I guess. Into, you know, I knew that was going to go a little long, so I've got a few little fun top stories before we head in to the rain show. So, Lathan, if you could do me the gracious honor of playing that jingle.
It's now time for this week's top stories.
First top story, quick one.
One of these days, we're going to get Bubbles to come up with that.
I know. If anyone knows how to do that for me, I'm sure it's very simple, but but yeah, that would be where the top story graphic comes up and then it bubbles away. I saw this today. I'd already done my notes, already done my run sheet. Here it is. But for the first time in a while, I had to add an amendment with a little sticky note because I saw this little story and I was like, I cannot go a whole week without mentioning this. I don't know if you saw this, but the British Museum, speaking of the French Louvre art gallery stealing the Venus de Milo from Greece, the British Museum, which if anyone does know about the British history or anything like that, the British Museum is the one of the biggest collection of stolen goods. Basically, the British Empire throughout their time went around the world, was like, ooh, that looks cool. We'll have that and put it in a museum in England, right? And now the British Museum is asking help from the British public to help recover things that have been stolen from the museum. The irony. Yes, apparently last month a member of staff was sacked. What?
I was just going to say, how often are things getting stolen from the museum?
Well, it's been happening. So all they said, story says last month a member of staff was sacked and police launched an investigation after around 2,000 artifacts were reported, quote, missing, stolen, or damaged over a significant period of time. So apparently it's been like a recent thing. But yeah, it's like, it's like if I steal a car and then I park it in my driveway and then someone else steals it from me, you gotta have some nerve to try to report that as stolen to the. Hey, my car's been stolen, but didn't you? Is it your car? Well, no, that's not the point. Yeah, fine, just keep it. It's mine. But yeah, fuck. I should show love to the British. But fuck off, British Museum. Trying to bitch about things that you stole is now being stolen back. Get a life, pal.
It's crazy to think that like this tiny little country once upon a time like occupied what 70% of the known globe at the time.
Something like that. They did very well. They were very good at very organized, I guess.
They did very well.
Have you ever seen
very extremely well?
I mean, are you familiar with the comedian Eddie Izzard?
Yes, yeah, he's a very smart dude. Very interesting character.
He does this one. I wish I could remember the actual special it was. I think it was Dressed to Thrill. I could be wrong, but he does like this whole like history of the world in a very funny way. And he was talking about the British Empire period. And he was just like, the British conquered 70% of the world through the power of flags. They would just rock up to a country and go, I claim this for the Queen. And people are like, you can't fucking do that. We live here. But do you have a flag? No. What do we need a flag for? No flag, no country. And we got away with it. It's pretty simplified history, but it's fun. I'll send you in a link.
Eddie Izzard is who Ricky Gervais would like to be if he didn't have to perform in drag and knew 3 other languages and performed in 3 other languages.
Oh, so
there,
good.
I said it.
Again,
yes.
There was
yes. Shots fired at Ricky Gervais.
How can you say something so controversial yet so brave? But yeah, there is one bit. I'll have to post some links on my X. But yeah, there is just one amazing special by Eddie Izzard where at some point he's like he does it where you don't really notice he's doing it, but he starts teaching you these little French words and French phrases early on in the special.
Okay.
In very innocuous places, so you don't notice it. But then towards the end, he does this entire 5-minute bit in French. And even though I don't speak French, I'm laughing along because he taught me like what I needed to know to understand his bit. And it's very clever. It's very clever. He is odd. What a legend. What a legend. Next story comes to us also from Britain. It's a very British centric top story segment. So there's a yoga class happening in the Seascape Cafe in a North Sea observatory in Chapel Street, Leonards, somewhere in England. I don't even know where that is. But yeah, nice yoga class going on, right? And at some point, if you've ever been to yoga, they're doing like their breathing exercise or something. So they're all like sort of not in downward dog, but in that kind of, is it child's pose? No, child's poses. It doesn't matter. But they're all laying down, basically. They're all laying down, doing a nice breathing exercise. And then a nosy little woman, is walking her dog past and looks in, sees it. That's weird. So fast forward about 30 minutes, and then the police arrive because what they've been tipped off is that a ritualistic cult mass murder, mass suicide has taken place. And so this woman has walked past a yoga class, saw they're on yoga mats, and thought they were all committing suicide in some cult thing happening in rural Britain. And so, yeah, fucking police show up, and surprisingly, no one's dead, thankfully. But they said the owner of the or what do they call them? They're not called. I think people call them yogis, but what's the head of the yoga class called? That fucking
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. But they put stuff on their Facebook page. Quote: If anyone heard the mass of police sirens in Chapel St. Leonard's at 9:30 last night, then please be reassured they were on their way to the observatory after someone had reported a mass killing in our building, having seen several people laying on the floor, which already turned out to be the yoga class in meditation. There you go. They're all in meditation.
I mean, I get it. I took a yoga class once, and by the end of it, I wanted to kill myself. Like, why is it so fucking hot in here? Why are the lights so dim? Did you not pay your electricity bill? Where's all the money going? On drugs. It's drugs, isn't it, you fucking hippie?
Oh, yoga's supposed to be relaxing. I'm glad it's working for you there, Lathan. Jesus.
Yeah. I've only taken 2 yoga classes. I enjoyed them both. They're both great for my lower back. And that heat thing is only particular disciplines of yoga. That's not across the board. Like if you go to like the Crunch Fitness or 24-hour fitness, they'll try and keep the AC on because it does get so hot in there with everybody sweating. 20 people all just packed in together with their noses in each other's butts, because that's what happens. They do that bullshit where they reach forward and they kick their leg back, and then you reach forward, but oh, now my nose is in this woman's thong. I didn't mean it to be in this thong, but I'm also a very tall man and I'm against the back of a wall here. Maybe I turned this way. Now I'm getting kicked in the face.
Sounds fun. No, I did yoga once. Lots of candles. I did find that. Lots of candles. But it was a very odd sensation because at the end of the yoga class, because I don't work out that much, and you may not think, but yoga is is pretty strenuous workout. But at the end of it, I felt it was very odd because I felt very tired and yet very energetic at the same time. It was very bizarre. It was a very bizarre feeling. Oh. Okay. And then that's when I went straight after yoga. I went to Korean barbecue and just kind of just destroyed any progress I'd made.
Nice.
But yes, the yogi said the class had already dispersed by the time the police had arrived in the building. She said she learned about the police's visit in a phone call from the building's manager. Quote, I was very shocked, she told CNN. It was so surreal and I didn't quite believe it was true. I have spoken to most of the people who took part and they have just said how mad it is. Yeah, we're all alive. This is bizarre. They're all participating in a beautiful, deep relaxation, and it could have never run through any of our minds that it could be taken this way. Well, it depends what pose they're in. But anyway, please.
I could probably use some yoga right now. I cannot get comfortable today.
Oh, damn, how many cushions you got?
I got the one. I swapped out cushions. The original cushion I've been using, I'm just like, this might not be it anymore. And I'm sitting on a brand new plushy. But yeah, I keep interrupting you. I'm very sorry, Mike. But if people are wondering, like, why does he keep fidgeting so much? That's what's happening here.
Having a bit of a dance.
Well,
maybe we could put that on wafflemerch.com. A nice cushion with your face on it, and we just call it a cushion.
Ooh, the cushion?
The cushion.
Yeah. Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. I think we have something there.
I'm sure many people would love to sit on your face.
Do that gimmick with the Nick Cage pillow, where like you stroke it one way and it's like his picture from Con Air, and you stroke it another way and it's like him from Ghost Rider or whatever other Nick Cage movie he would be in. I don't know why I said Ghost Rider. Shut up.
But yeah, anyway, no one's dead, thankfully, at this yoga class.
Yay for not dying.
Let's move on. Yes, well done for not being dead. To people who aren't just sitting in a crowded room, laying on the floor, pretending to be doing stuff. These people are actually achieving things with their life, and they have a nice paper certificate to prove it. It's time for this week's Dumb World Record of the Week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
This week's Dumb World Record surprisingly doesn't take part in Britain, but it is one of our ones we own, Canada. A Canadian chef has broke the Guinness World Record for most cucumbers cut into slices in 30 seconds whilst blindfolded.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Wallace Wong, a chef and bodybuilder, known as the Six Pack Chef on TikTok. Oh, he's a TikToker. Chopped halved cucumbers into thin slices in 30 seconds whilst blindfolded. Kush Hayes, use your cucumber knowledge.
Okay.
So in 30 seconds, how many slices of cucumber do you reckon this fella did? Six-pack chef. Super muscly, super strong.
Gonna guess 42.
42.
Because that is the answer to the greatest question ever asked.
Fair play, fair play. He actually managed 166 slices.
Get the fuck out of here. Half a cucumber.
To my calculation, he at least 5 times per second.
Yeah, right. It would have to be. Those things have to be like super thin too. Like they just, I don't know if a cucumber can melt, but it feels like it would melt in a pan or in your mouth or something. Like,
Super thin
like
cucumber.
you probably see through them. You probably see right through them.
So yeah, congratulations, boys. That's fucking like that's you shouldn't be able to use a knife that quick. That's fucking insane.
A little known
He's gonna
fact is
have
that
to
he's
register.
not called the six-pack chef because of his abs. It's a reference to how many fingers he has left.
Yeah, because
Okay.
he must at least fuck. Who's
I
like,
would have to imagine. I'd have to imagine he would just be holding this end and then just go along the way. I think he would keep his free hand as far away as possible. I know
Do you
that's
remember
not
that-
what chefs do, but
do you remember that one time that we called BS on a world record and attempted it the next week? The Capri Sun drinking one.
the Capri Sun, yes, I do. Wasn't that fun?
Do you want to try this one next week? Do you want to?
I do not.
Oh, you coward.
No. Oh, how dare you?
But yeah. So congratulations, Mr. Wallace Wong, or Double W, as we.
I think that's one of the more impressive records we've covered on the 117 episodes we've done now.
It is impressive, but it's still
Like really, like
I
really.
guess,
Like,
I mean,
I'm stupid about it.
I guess normally it's kind of like that's weird. Why did you think of that? But he's a chef.
Mhm.
I'm sure he does
Mhm.
cut cucumbers often. So maybe this
All
one
goddamn
isn't done.
day. All goddamn day. Like I think this is up there in the top 5. Like I couldn't tell you what the other 4 are. I'm sorry, but like yeah, very very rarely do we ever go like, dude, good for you. That's pretty amazing.
Ooh, idea just popped into my head, Mr. Hayes. Maybe,
What's up?
maybe, because we was talking off air about a potential replacement segment for the trapdoor.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Sorry, kids, it has to happen.
Maybe we could do a dumb world record tournament of champions, where each week I give 4 ex world records we've referenced. You announce one that advances to the next round of the tournament, and we decided the best dumb world record ever covered on the Waffle Box so far.
I mean, are we going to do like 20 of these records, or are we going to do all 116?
I don't know. I'll work.
We definitely have the content for it. You definitely can pull.
I'd have to look back and see how many we can feature to, because obviously the bracket needs to work out to a final 4. But that's a good idea. Oh, I'm excited about that. Um,
No, I mean, we have the content for it. So
stay tuned. Stay tuned, boys and girls. Dumb Record Tournament of Champions. Maybe we'll do that towards. Well, actually, I was going to say towards the end of the year. We're already cracking on to
We're almost
October
there.
soon.
There's less than
Jesus.
100 days. Less than 100 days left.
Get your Christmas list sorted. Get it off to Santa. Get it nice and early. It's like tax. The earlier you do it, the earlier you get your money back.
That's right.
Still to come. We have got the trapdoor segment, maybe the final one. Movie review from Kush, feel good segment, and all that good stuff. But stick around. We'll be right back after this short break.
Fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you. Staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better. Mentos freshness. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Hey, welcome back to Waffle, episode 117. It is the middle of the show, so if you ask me my humble opinion, that sounds like the perfect time to play the middle of the show quiz. We test Kush's knowledge on the random stuff, and it's the birthday quiz, so let's find out whose birthday it is. So yes, this week we are celebrating the birthday of Jenna Ortega, who finally is able to legally purchase alcohol as she turns 21 today. What?
I'll good for her.
For you. Good for you. You're doing
This is
great.
the young lady from the Wednesday TV series.
It is the very one.
She was in Scream 6. I haven't seen Wednesday, but I liked her in Scream 6.
You should check out Wednesday. It's very good. It's very good. But yeah, 5 questions. Obviously, you're aiming the game to try to get at least 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
If not 5 out of 5 for the clean sweep. Mr. Hayes, are you ready to be tested on Ms. Jenny Ortega?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Witness me.
Let's get on it. Okay, so question number 1. As you have already mentioned, Jenna Ortega is now best known currently for playing the title role in Netflix's Wednesday. So the question is, which Norse god is the day Wednesday named after?
Oh, shit. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Hercules? No, he's Greek. Damn it, we spent so much time in Greek.
Yeah, it's Odin.
Odin. Okay.
Thor's father.
Thor's big daddy.
Or apparently because Odin's, apparently one of our other names is Woden. And so it was Woden's Day, and then it changed to Wendy's Day and all that stuff, apparently. Fun fact.
Oh my god.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Question number 2. Jenna Ortega was born in Coachella Valley, California, 21 years ago to this day. In which year was the first Coachella Music Festival held?
Oh, golly, wouldn't that have been like 2002?
Ooh, you're close. I'll let you have a second guess. You're close with 2002.
2001?
You went Price is Right and you shat your bed. It's 1999. So you're heading in the right direction. But there you go. Question number 3.
Number 3.
Jenna Ortega played a young Jane in the TV show Jane the Virgin. Have you ever seen Jane the
Okay.
Virgin? It's very good.
No, but I know it's critically acclaimed, and I know of it. I've never seen it though. That was also with America Ferrera, right?
Sure, why not? So yeah, she was in Jane the Virgin. Question is, which Four Seasons song is about band member Bob Gaudio losing his virginity?
I don't even know who that is. So yeah,
You know, you know Four Seasons, right? It's the band Four Seasons.
no, I know the song Four Seasons.
Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, I definitely don't know anything from their.
You will once I
Yeah,
sing this song to you. You'll be like, "Oh my god, that
And
song!"
I'm like, of course that was it.
Of course, that song.
Hit me. I'm ready to lose. I'm ready to lose. Hit me.
It was December 1963. Oh, what a night! Late December back in '63. This MILF sat on top of me. I don't think those are the actual lyrics, but there you go.
I would not have known that was a Frankie Valli song. I didn't see Jersey Boys. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's great. That's well. You need to see that. If you're into musicals, that's great. Question number 4.
Number 4.
Jenna
Ortega. Lost, but let's do it.
Jenna Ortega portrayed Harley Diaz in the Disney Channel series Stuck in the Middle. What movie famously featured the song Stuck in the Middle with You?
Oh, Reservoir Dogs. But that's been in a bunch of movies.
Hey, yeah, but you got it. See, famously. Other movies had it, but that was that's an epic scene.
That's a hard scene to watch. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how many times I've watched that movie. Like when Michael Mann. Anyway, our guy cuts that ear off. That's fucking terrifying.
Fun fact: that character is the brother of Vinny Vega.
Vincent Vega. Yeah, rest in peace, by the way. Not Vincent Vega, but yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
Whose name I can't remember.
Question number 5. This
We're usually much drunker at this point. We're usually much drunker by this point in the show, so this is all very disappointing. That
I know. I was actually quite a good boy. I didn't start drinking until we started recording today.
Nice.
I'm drinking beer out of a Waffle Box mug.
Nice.
Or whatever.
Classic.
Question number 5. Jenna Ortega is set to play Lydia's daughter in the upcoming Beetlejuice sequel. Okay. The question is, which congresswoman was recently thrown out of a theater for giving an over-the-pants handy during a performance of Beetlejuice?
I think her name was like Bobert.
You gonna guess her first name?
Laura?
Lauren Bober. But yeah, I'll give you that. Congratulations. Okay. But unfortunately, that's just 2 out of 5.
You lose.
But he did well. He'll come back there towards the end. Not bad.
Yeah. I get him next time. Coach.
Yeah, next time. I wonder whose birthday is next week. Whose birthday is it? I've already got it set up. I feel like I was very bored because I came back on flew back from Greece on Friday. I'm going to keep going about Greece, but I come back on Friday and it was pouring down with rain on Saturday and Sunday. So we took that as a fantastic opportunity to be like, well, we are very tired and jet lagged, so we are going to do nothing on Saturday and Sunday.
Nice.
And so I just sat here and I was like putting together this week's show, and I was like, let's see whose birthday is next week. And so I put together next week's quiz. What about the week after that? And so I've got like 4 of them all set up. I'm like all the way to the end of October. It's great.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Outstanding stuff. Right, it's now time because this damn rock that we spin on is far too populated. And now for potentially maybe the last time, it's time for this week's Trapdoor segment of the week. Here's the trapdoor 7 when I give Kush 4 different options, and he has to show his work and decide which one goes down the trapdoor into oblivion. This week's trapdoor was suggested by listener Alex O. Shout out to Alex O.
What up,
Thank you
Alex?
very much for suggesting this. And he has suggested musical acts beginning with the letter A. So I'm going to give you 4 musical acts that begin with the letter A, and you have to decide which one has just, all right, we've heard too much of your shit now. It's time for you to go. We have ABBA.
I knew that.
Adele. Aerosmith.
Ooh.
Or AC/DC. So we've got ABBA, Adele, Aerosmith, or AC/DC. Which one of these is Sin Their Last Day?
And if once they go down the trapdoor, all of their music goes with them.
Ooh, that's a good
just asking to ask. Otherwise, like it's a significant detail.
It is, because some of these are old, so you kind of like especially say like, well,
Adele is the newest person on this list. Everyone else here is from the 70s,
and ABBA's not going to produce anything new anytime soon. So that could be a cheat code. So yeah, all right, okay, yeah. We're gonna go full
catalog erasure, huh?
Yeah, what was that movie? Yesterday, the Beatles one.
Yesterday, yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, so we're going for that. So if you send this musical act down the chute, all of their music has never ever existed. There we go. Boom. Let's make it a little bit harder, as the Pope said.
You're stupid. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this.
That's what he also said.
Well, damn. I don't normally like those jokes, but you hit them both out of the park, Mike. It's just good timing. You can't fault that. So
appreciate it.
Anyway, yeah, brother. Let's see. You'd think AC/DC would be the perfect candidate to go down the chute, but you know what? We have too many action songs or too many action movies that feature the music of AC/DC. And we don't have the AC/DC catalog.
The first Iron Man movie would just be they'd have no soundtrack.
There'd be no Marvel Cinematic Universe. All right, 30 movies now gone if we don't have AC/DC here to support the first Iron Man movie. However, they did other stuff too. They did other movies, like lots of action movies. They're all gone. So AC/DC, you're safe. Could send Aerosmith down that same hole, especially since they're retiring this year or next year or whenever it is. They're on their retirement tour.
Yeah, they're on their tour. Like, as we mentioned before, however, Kiss are on their 6th year of their retirement tour. So,
well, Kiss and the Rolling Stones and a bunch of other bands have done the retirement tour. Not just 1 6-year period. They've retired several times and come back and then retired again. This is actually the first time Aerosmith's retired. However,
did you hear about
they're still retiring?
Did you hear about REM? Do you remember the band REM?
I'm familiar with them. I have not heard anything new about.
Well, so they retired a few years ago.
Oh, did they? I was not aware.
Yeah, but then recently they were seen having like dinner together, and someone like took a picture of them and put it online. I was like, I think maybe REM are getting back together, and they was like, dude, we're still friends. We're still gonna hang out. We're just not doing. Yeah. We're not doing any music anymore. Like, relax.
Yeah, it's funny how the smallest thing will make people jump to the furthest conclusion. REM was having dinner together because they like each other, but nope, they got to be coming back for a brand new show. No, that's crazy. I had no idea REM was retired. Good for them. All right, Aaron Smith, you're safe. Again, we don't have Michael Bay's Armageddon. if we don't have Aerosmith. You don't have Dazed and Confused. You don't. Again, I'm a big cinema guy here, so great goddamn song, man. It is the anthem of anthem rock.
If you haven't sung that at
anthem.
once at karaoke, who are you?
It's an option on the Rock Band video game, so I have sung it several times. FYI, a little cheat code on Rock Band. You don't actually have to sing it word for word. It just you just need to just hum the right notes into the microphone, and it thinks it's
That's
anyway.
cheating. I don't like that.
Aerosmith, you're safe. It's not cheating. It's being clever. All right. It's not the Kobayashi Maru. It's just being clever. Adele. God bless you, Adele. I only heard a couple of your songs, but I think you're an international treasure, and I just don't want to see you go anywhere. I love that you're taking care of yourself. I love that you still have a rich harmonic voice and have considered your health an option and have dropped so much weight. And again, the few songs I've heard, love them. So Adele, you're safe. It's just no bones about it. That brings us to
great
ABBA.
live. She's great live.
Is she? Oh, you've seen her. Yeah. You Facebook Lived at one time. That shit was exciting.
Seen her twice now. And I don't know what it's really bizarre. She is one of these acts that she pretty much just stands there and just sings. Like there's no real showmanship. It's just, here I am. I'll make a couple of jokes maybe between songs, but other than that, I'm just going to stand in this one spot and belt out my songs. There's no real thrills about it.
To do that, man.
But yeah, at the end of the show, you're kind of like, that was an amazing show. Like I don't know what it is. It's
just powerful.
Yeah, it's incredible live. Incredible live. Anyway, sorry.
She doesn't even do the gimmick where she just walks stage left and then walks stage right and then walks stage back to center. She doesn't even do that much. She just stands there.
I'm sure she does walk around for a bit. Every now and again, she brings that cup of tea. It's very good.
Okay. Oh, well, isn't that dainty?
Yeah.
Back to ABBA.
ABBA.
I actually have nothing against disco. I find and I understand you won the Eurovision contest. That's how we know about you.
Indeed.
However, there's something about the music of ABBA that is in the DNA of every single woman on this planet, and they all know Dancing Queen, and I am sick to death of that goddamn song. Moreover, any song that I've heard ad nauseum on the radio, any song that you think is played out, your Ice Ice Babies and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, ABBA, you gotta go. You gotta, because you are brainwashing half of the population of the earth. I don't know what it is, but this is a fact. If you're a woman, you love ABBA and you know every goddamn word to every song they have ever produced.
Didn't sound very Swedish.
I know you're Swedish, but au revoir. Au revoir. Yeah, probably like
no, Kush. Why you do that?
Oh no, Kush, how could you? I thought we were friends.
Mamma Mia movies now. They're gone.
You know what? I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with the Mamma Mia movies, but I'm okay with that.
I did hear something going full circle again with my because obviously Mamma Mia movies were set in Greece.
Oh, huh.
And someone, I won't mention their name, save them the embarrassment, but they because they were big fans of the Mamma Mia movies, they assumed ABBA were Greek, and I was like, no,
you know what? That's fair.
Yeah, I didn't mock them, but I was like, oh no, they're Swedish. They're Swedish. Beautiful stuff. Oh, I'm excited about this next bit. Oh, because big fan of the original couple of movies. So I'm excited for this one. I haven't seen this yet, but it's now time for Kush to review a movie in a segment that we originally called Kush's Movie Review.
Kush's movie review.
Yes, welcome to Kush's movie review, a segment where Kush reviews a movie. If you are watching the YouTube standalone version, do us a favor. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, give a thumbs up, and leave some comments in the comment section. Let us know what you think of the movie and also of the review. This week, Kush is reviewing Expendables 4, the fourth movie in a series of movies which sees Rocky Balboa and Ivan Drago find out that both their mothers' names is Martha, and they become best friends and fight crime.
I would have loved that if that was what it was.
It would have been fun.
I hated it in Batman vs Superman, but I would have loved that.
Before you get into the review of this movie, may I just say that I haven't seen this movie yet. Loved the first couple. But I'm really frustrated that they've gone Fast and the Furious with the titling of this movie, where it's not Expendables 4. They've replaced the A with the number 4. Expendables. Like, that's terrible. Like, if anything, it's worse because at least when Fast and the Furious did it, it kind of made sense. Like they did Fate of the Furious, F8. It made sense.
Mm-hmm.
But
Too Fast, Too Furious,
Expendables,
all the above.
Terrible.
Expendables.
Terrible.
Like, and you can't help but say Expendables. It's not Expendables 4. It's in the post. It's Expendables. And you're just like, this is what happens when you take too many concussions to the head. Then you start pronouncing things like Expendables. Mm-hmm. That's unfortunately not the biggest problem this movie has. So this is Expendables 4. It is a hard R, and it comes in at a modest hour and 43 minutes.
It's not bad.
Small footnote, parts 1 and 2 are also 1 hour 43 minutes, but for some reason the PG-13 part 3 came in at over 2 hours. It's like 2 hours and 10 minutes or something stupid. I'm just like, oh God, like that movie was already bad and you made us sit through another 25 minutes of it. Oh,
did I see Expendables 3, Kush? Did I see that? Which one?
I hope you didn't.
Which one had Chuck Norris in?
Part 2.
And is that the one where Arnold Schwarzenegger does his big entrance where he's like, I'm back? Is that 2 as well?
That could have just been part 1, though, honestly. But that's Arnold. That's his phrase. So that could have also been Kindergarten Cop 2. I don't know.
Okay, maybe I've seen 1 and 2. But anyway, proceed.
All right, yeah. Part 3 is not good, but that's a whole other review for a whole other segment that we haven't even created yet. Like you, Mike Fish, I actually really like part 1. And you know what? I'm just going to be upfront about it. None of these are good movies. But here's why I like part 1. They didn't promise us a good movie. What they promised us is, here's all these action heroes from the 80s and 90s. Here's a couple of new dudes that are on the scene now. And here's a couple of B-stars that never got their time to shine. And we're going to put them on a platform and let the world see how dope they were and what you may have missed out on. And that was Expendables 1. It was
like
cool
an action movie all-star game. It was fun.
Exactly. It didn't need to have a decent plot to it. It didn't need to have a good story to it. That I grin ear to ear when I watch that bullshit still today.
I thought the plot was way
2.
better than it was supposed to be. Like for what I expected going into it, I was like, this movie actually makes sense. I'm impressed.
My biggest problem with the original Expendables is Dolph Lundgren's heel turn, apparent off-screen suicide, and then at the end of the movie, he's just hanging out drinking beers with the boys going, sorry, guys, I got a little carried away back there, I guess. Thanks for being cool about that, Jeff Lee. No problem, man. And then they're just drinking beers. Like, Expendables 1 has an amazing monologue from, God damn it, Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke gives the best performance in that movie, and it's a goddamn shame he was never in part 2 after that. He negotiated terribly. He was like, I need more money. I'm an Academy Award nominee now. And they're like, no. We'll just take that monologue you gave us and roll with it. I hated part two. I hated part two for everything that everyone hated part one for, except they added Liam Hemsworth, who isn't. That's not the problem I had with. He gives this stupid monologue about how he left the United States Army because they shot his dog one day. Like, I don't know why they needed to shoot his dog, but I was just like, really? That's this guy's motivation? And then he dies, and so we're gonna revenge him? Man, get the fuck out of here. That's stupid. But everyone ate it up. They're like, Expendables 2 is the shit, y'all. Like, I wish this was Expendables 1. Like, I love this. It's amazing. No. Not even
Ooh, you're our second
part
favorite
three.
Hemsworth.
Expendables 4. Expendables stars Jason Statham, 50 Cent, Megan Fox, Iko Uwais, who you know from the movie The Raid and The Raid Part 2. He is the villain in this, along with Andy Garcia, which is very strange. There's about 15 other names on this. Why did I not mention Stallone? Because he's maybe in it a whole 10 minutes.
Oh, boo.
It's really weird why he's not in more of it. It's really weird that they give him. I mean, I guess they don't give him front billing, but he's still like number 2 build.
I think he's like front of the poster.
He's definitely got his own poster. He's definitely on it. All the posters. He's definitely got his own character poster. Do I want to give out spoilers? Fuck it. It's Expendables 4. Most of you aren't going to see it, and if you have, you'd have seen it already. Mike Fish, I don't think I'm. Actually, you want to see this. So, do you want spoilers, Mike Fish?
Yeah, go for it. It's like it's not the biggest. It's not the biggest. It's not the deepest movie. I'm not worried.
No, it's not. Not at all. They try to pretend that Sylvester Stallone gets murdered in this. Like the airplane's getting shot up while everyone's on a mission. Their airplane finally gets taken out by a surface-to-air missile, and then when Jason Statham runs over to the wreckage, sure enough, you see a charred corpse with Stallone's ring on it, and he's like, "Holy shit! Like they murdered the fuck. There's no way he's coming out of this. Like, holy shit! Wrong, wrong." Sylvester Stallone gets to play Deus Ex Machina at the very end when he saves Jason Statham out of nowhere, and then they're like, "Hey, man, I thought you were dead. Like, I saw your corpse. We had a funeral." What? And he's like, and then he explains it, and just like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, I'm offended that you thought that this would be okay for a storyline on any platform, especially an Expendables movie. Fuck you.
Well, I thought Dolph Lundgren could do it in the first one, so I thought I'd do it. As ever been.
Dolph Lundgren plays a shadow of himself, like not even a good caricature. He's playing an old man now, and I'm okay with that because technically he's an old man now. However, when he's out there on the battlefield, he's supposed to be the sniper, misses 100% of all the shots he takes. Unlike what Wayne Gretzky says, you miss, and you all know it. Michael Scott said it too. He's doing a thing where he's going through, he's a recovering alcoholic, and then in just the middle of a firefight, he's like, I mean, I might be dying. To be fair, he might be dying in the next 10 minutes, but he pulls a flask out and just downs that shit. He's like, all right, it's good to be back. And then he takes 100% of the fucking shots he makes. Like, it's like, this is fucking stupid, and it's a bad message also. Like, Expendables movies don't need to have a message, but like, the guy's a fucking recovering alcoholic. That's just irresponsible. I mean, again, we're not trying to make too much out of the Expendables movie. As I said, Stallone dies. Heavy air quotes there. And while he is dead, I'm like, this was actually a very risky move. And like, I gotta clap. I gotta give Stallone an applause because he's a very big egomaniac, and for him to kill a character in one of his biggest franchises, which he has like 4 of, like I was like, shouts out to Stallone for doing this. So the plot is Stallone gets murdered. Jason Statham is out for revenge, but because Statham fucked up the mission, he's taken out of the Expendables by Andy Garcia. For some reason, Megan Fox is there, who very attractive woman. Not at all like any of the she is not the problem with this movie, but at the same time, it's like, I know she did those Transformer films, but like, she is not what comes to mind when I think of female action heroes.
No,
I still don't know how Cynthia Rothrock hasn't gotten booked for one of these movies. There's a whole story where her and Stallone were supposed to work together, and then it just fell apart at the last minute. And I was like, any one of these last 4 movies would have been a perfect opportunity. And
Gina Carano would have been a good one if she didn't fuck up her career.
you know what? This cast would have taken Gina Carano, I believe, honestly. I'm surprised Kevin Sorbo isn't on the cast either. So I don't think Stallone cares about what they said on Twitter or what Christian movie they're doing.
Sylvester Stallone probably doesn't even know what Twitter is.
There. No, I think he knows. He's a pretty sharp dude, honestly. He's a no. I'm confirming that for you.
I'm just imagining him like he just can't get in because like Siri doesn't understand him. Hey Siri,
oh no, she said beep bop boop. Cancel it. Jenny, cancel it. Jenny, cancel it.
Sorry, I don't understand you. Oh, I'm trying to set the alarm. What the fuck are you saying? Whoa,
I could be Vin Diesel. You don't know. Like, isn't it funny today that modern Vin Diesel impressions are just old Stallone impressions? Anyway.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah, I thought so. Thank you. Again, so I don't understand why Megan Fox is in this. She's fine. She's very, very easy on the eyes, so I don't mind her being there. But I don't understand. 50 Cent is in this. Again, another casting decision I don't get. Terry Crews, I guess he's replacing him, which seems kind of backwards.
Terry Crews isn't in this one.
Racist. Terry Crews is not in this one.
Fuck this movie.
Through chats in the grapevine, through unofficial reports, just random people I know, they are alluding that, like, you remember when Terry Crews was going off about was Me Tooing people? Terry Crews was Me Tooing people. Like some guy fondled my genitals at a party. Apparently, one of them are involved in this movie, and so no Terry Crews. I don't know why that had to happen, but whatever. 50 Cent, I've never seen any of his TV show, The Power. I've only seen that one movie he did for MTV 20 years ago now. Fuck. Get Rich or Die Trying, which is absolutely ridiculous. So I don't know what kind of actor or what acting caliber he has today, but he's just there. He's very flatline. There's no emotion to him. There's no gravity. There's no charisma. By the way, 50 Cent, out of this entire giant cast list, he's the only one that's on this cast list in an action movie that has actually been shot. And
several times.
Does he like sell any of the danger? He's just like, oh, we're just being shot at. Bang, bang, bang. All right, still being shot at. Shit.
Yeah, this is a regular Tuesday for me, bro. Curtis.
Yeah. I'm very glad that you know that name. Good for you.
I was a big hip hop guy back in the day. I knew Curtis, 50 Cent.
Nice. Okay, nice. What else?
In fact, the game, who later became a big rap star, was, not many people know this, but he was in the Club video.
Okay. They ended up having a feud, didn't they?
They did.
Returning characters, Randy Couture is back, does nothing. Dolph Lundgren is back, is the dumbest character I've ever seen. Jason Statham is, for some reason, front and center in this film. I like watching him fight Iko Uwais, but it's only okay. I like watching him fight with Tony Jaa. I don't know if you're familiar with Tony Jaa. He's a big Thai actor. He's been in some cool projects as well. So it's fun to watch them work together. Who's the other chick? Bai Ling is in this for some reason. She actually has some good chemistry. Her and Randy Couture work together very well. But again, it's really weird to see her like, why don't they get the stunt woman who does Scarlett Johansson's work in the Avengers movie? That chick's an actual actress. And she can do all that shit. Everything, all the flips you see Scarlett Johansson's, that's her. I don't know why she's not in this movie. And again, like Cynthia Rothrock, I don't think they've ever seen a project they didn't like or didn't like cashing the check for. Honestly, not saying anything negative about it. Work is work, and this would have been a job qualified for both of them. Who else is Jet Li is missing, and I think that
Jet
might. I
Li.
think Jet Li was pretty smart about that.
Do you know what would be a good idea for a movie? Sort of like,
Break it down.
sort of in the same vein of like Tropic Thunder, where the actors get into a real life situation. And like the Three Amigos, same thing where they think they're acting, but they're in a real situation. Like, do that where maybe like a group of stuntmen end up in a real life situation. That could be fun.
I want to say that actually exists. We're gonna have to Google that after the show, but I feel like that movie exists already. And if it's not, then you should write that shit post haste because you've already put it out there. Right. So
because the writer's strike soon comes to an end, so then boom, I can get it ready, and as soon as the writer's strike's finished, I can boom.
They
submit.
literally just have to sign
Bam.
the contract, but that thing is pretty much done. So yeah, and you're not in union anyway, so I would start writing post haste.
So I can't be considered a scab.
So by the way, congratulations everyone with the WGA. No, not in this case. Actually, no, you would not. So, whatever. Don't tell anyone else that. I was in a Simpsons group on Facebook. They post a lot of funny memes. You know, it's a lot of custom stuff. And one guy just did like, I went to an AI bot and I was like, make the new Simpsons, and this is what they produce. And it's a lot of just nonsense. Don't worry about it. What it looks like. It looks like all AI generated garbage. But one guy was like, a lot of scab activity happening here, and it's like, oh, it's fucking Facebook, dude. None of us. Anyone who is here in the union, like this doesn't count. It's no one's getting paid for this. Like it's just Facebook. Calm your ass down.
Do you know what a scab is?
A lot of people apparently do not. Is what I've been seeing on most of. Oh, dude, there was some controversy while you were away in Greece. I'll get back to that with me. I'll get back to that after we finish the show.
I thought we was talking about the John Cena stuff.
No. But speaking of John Cena, the guy who directed this is Scott Waugh, excuse me. And if you know that name, it's because he directed John Cena and Jackie Chan in last month's review for Hidden Strike. And then this movie, for some reason, took 3 people to write outside of the guy created based on characters created by and story by 3 other people had to take it. And we're just going to use first names Kurt, Tad, and Mark. Good for you. You guys made an Expendables movie. I don't know why it took 3 of you to do it, but cool. The action here is only okay. There's a lot of bad green screen, but that's pretty normal for an Expendables movie. And then, yeah, even before that accident on the Alec Baldwin Rust set, the Expendables has always been using digital blood spout. So, and that's no different here. It's very noticeable. And yeah, everybody should be applauding this movie now because of that part right there.
All right, Lee. All right, chill out those sound effects, Lathan. Jesus.
I wish I didn't have to give this review. I wish we were talking about Cassandra on Amazon Prime. I wish we were talking about Heels season 2, or even the whole series, which has now been canceled by Stars. But we were talking about Expendables. 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. I wish I could give it a better review. Is it the worst movie this year? I don't think so, but it sure as fuck wasn't a good movie. Not by a little bit.
You didn't want to review this movie. Why did you suggest it?
I gave you 3 options, and 2 of them I just mentioned just now.
Exactly. So you kind of like my
because
wife.
That was the movie I saw. But then I was like, I also saw this movie while you were in Greece that is now available for everybody on Prime. And then there's this TV series that focuses on wrestling, which you and I are both adept at.
He just said, by the way, I can review one of these 3 things, and so I just picked the Expendables, and now he's being all like, "Oh, I didn't want to do this." Well, why did you suggest it then? You kind of like remind me of my No, you reminded me of
Because I don't like talking shit about movies, dude. I wish I could
Then
give
don't
you 5
suggest
stars
it.
every time. Like,
You could just
motherfucker, it was the only movie that came out this week. It was the only movie that came out this week, dude.
kind of like my wife when she goes, "Oh, should we have Indian food or Chinese food?" And I say, "Oh, let's have Chinese food." And she'd be like, eating her Chinese food. Ugh, I
This
wanted
is
Indian
not like
food.
this at all, dude.
Well,
No,
why don't you
this
just
is
say
not
you
like
want
that.
Indian
Or that
food?
time when your wife goes like, "You want the red dress or the blue dress?" And you go the blue dress. I think I'll go with the red. This is not like that at all, you ass.
It
This is me
sounds
just
very
saying,
similar, if you ask me.
oh, go fuck yourself.
Well, maybe I will once we end the recording. Mikey
three
needs
things after
some
happening after
happy
recording.
time.
Expend 4 bulls, expend 2 bulls out of 5.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ah.
I love you.
Speaking of fucking myself, it's now time to give this show a happy ending and end on this week's feel-good story of the week.
It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
This week's feel-good story goes
By the way,
back...
on the Waffle Box OnlyFans thing, it gets way more graphic in that scene.
Oh, there's nipples and everything. We go back to my homeland of England again.
It's a very British Greek podcast today.
And the dumb motherfucker from Canada, which is still technically a British Commonwealth member. So yeah, it's very, very British, very British.
Did Canada not declare its independence yet? Like, I thought that was a thing in like 82 or something.
Not that I'm aware of.
I know the Queen's face.
Well, yeah, I think yeah, they are. So they're independent, but they still have a relationship, I guess. So they're still considered part of the Commonwealth.
Okay.
But I think the king is still the head of class as their head. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're not getting.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, this gets complicated, kids. Sorry.
Anyway, so there was this nightclub in England called Club X. Right.
Yes, there is.
But it used to be back in the day.
It's not owned by Elon Musk, is it?
No, it's not. Thankfully, you have to pay $8 to get in. But it used to be called the.
I don't know why that took me a second, but yes.
Yeah. So it used to be called oh, I don't know what it used to be called, but anyway, it used to be called something different when
it used to be
was
called that club.
Yeah, when it was a venue in the 1940s in which this fella used to go. So Kevin Topham, who is now a 95-year-old Royal Air Force veteran, found out. So this nightclub closed down for a while, and then it was reopening as Club X. And when he found out that this nightclub was reopening, he was like, "Oh my God, I want to go to this nightclub because this is the nightclub that back in the 40s I went to and I met my wife." Right. So he was like, "I'm going to go there and have a boogie." Now he's 95. Unfortunately, his wife is no longer with us. Right.
Right.
But he was like, "I want to go to that nightclub on opening night and I'm going to cut up some shapes in them." So his carer, Donna, I'm sure it says her full name here. Donna. Anyway, it doesn't. Donna is his carer. She was kind of like, "Do you really think you want to go to this nightclub in Nottingham?" She said, quote, "There's going to be a lot of strobe lighting and booming music, which might not be best for a 95-year-old man."
Okay. Yeah, right. Like, we're not doing the hop, scotch, boogie here. Like, which, as a 45-year-old, annoys the shit out of me these days.
That's 38.
I can't imagine how it affects a 95-year-old.
Yeah. But apparently, Kevin Topham could not be deterred. He was like, "No, fuck that bitch. You're supposed to be looking after me. You work for me. You don't tell me what to do. You're not my real mum. So he was like, no, fuck that. I'm going. So what Donna did, she contacted the nightclub and arranged for him to have free access to the nightclub an hour before its grand opening.
Oh, yeah.
And so in he goes there, and him and Donna dance to the song "The Chattanooga Choo Choo" by Glenn Miller.
Choo Choo.
Which is apparently
that song I actually do know, ironically.
Oh, interesting.
It's in a league of their own.
Nice. So yeah, him and Donna had a dance to that in this nightclub and all this. Apparently, there's photos. If you look at it, if you Google it, there's photos of like the nightclub staff.
I would actually like to see those.
Who were like super sweet to him, like his last and things like that. Donna said it was so humbling and it just melted my heart because it made him so happy. And ever since, he hasn't stopped talking about it. So, shout out to Kevin.
And then she
Topham.
did a line of cocaine off his boner.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure. Maybe. Oh, that would have been. See, this is why most podcasts get sponsorship. We need sponsorship because this would have been perfect. I go, hey, are you a 95-year-old war veteran and want to get a boner? Go to Blue Chew and use code WaffleBox. That'd have been perfect.
Well, maybe they will now. Maybe they will now.
But yeah, I guess Kevin Topham with thanks for your service. And what an adorable story. I'm glad you had a little boogie.
Oh, yeah, boogie. You got to salute like that. Not like that. You got to salute like that because it's Air Force. No. Is it like that?
Well, I think
because this is what we do in the United States.
Yeah, I don't know, but
no, this is
because my brother's in the Royal Air Force, and I'm pretty sure he did it straight shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'll text him tomorrow, find out, and I'll update you next
Brother
week.
Fish, we need clarification on this. I'm pretty sure your hand is 45 degrees. But anyways, yeah. Shout out to this guy. Also, like I'm guessing he's not in a wheelchair, but is there any kind of like assistance? Is he using a walker?
I'm sure he leans upon
like 95.
Donna a bit.
Like he could shadow like Fabergé.
But yeah, and saying that, yeah, I don't know, because there's some stories you see out there where like it puts me to shame, where you see like, oh, this 90-year-old man's running marathons and shit. Like, there's some people that can fucking
tugboats with his teeth.
Like, there's some like there's some good human beings out there. I'm not one. I'm gonna be like.
Also, shout out to Donna for like contacting the club and like, hey, this is gonna happen.
Yeah, she's one of the good.
You better
ones.
let him in early.
Because normally you like carers, sometimes they'll just do the bare minimum, or you just find out they're beating the old people. But she's actually caring for the person, which is actually nice. It's refreshing. So shout out to Donna.
What I'm seeing is something out of like Pulp Fiction. But it's Europe, it's England, so the floors are lit like a disco from the 70s, like out of like Saturday Night Fever. But they're doing that bullshit from Pulp Fiction. However, the Chattanooga Choo Choo is playing, but then of course, just all of a sudden the fog machine goes on. Like Chattanooga Choo Choo was never intended to have a fog machine, but there it is.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, who's ready for the Chattanooga Choo Choo?
That's a tugboat, but that's the sound effect they would still use. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Fucking love this story. Yeah, this is actually one of the top 5 stories too.
Oh my god,
solid episode tonight, man.
Solid. That's what. 2 weeks in the making.
That's what you said. Oh.
Anyway, let's wrap this up. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Waffle Box. Be sure to tune in next week where we'll have another episode of Waffle Box. Kush Hayes, I know for a fact that you've actually in the last couple of weeks produced a new podcast over at the Bosnet Family Market Dose. Why don't you tell the good fine folks of the Serial Squad about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Last week we talked with Drew Angelman as we usually do. We talked fourth quarter movies upcoming. This week coming up, we're talking to Marie from Marie Plays It All, who's part of the Not a Strong Start podcast family, and I cannot wait to let you guys listen to that. It's going to be a good time, y'all. Promise. Bosnet.family.
Do that, Bosnet.family. Also, yeah, make sure you go to enjoywafflebox.com to get all the links where you can follow us and listen to us. If you watch us, you can listen to us as well. If you listen to us, you can watch us as well over on YouTube. Follow me at Only Mike Fish. Follow him, Kushford Hayes, on the Book of Face. But until next week, it's good night from me. It's good night from him. Lathan, say good night to the good people.
Good night, everyone. And in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, I'd just like to say, ¿Dónde está el baño? Creo que me he ensuciado.
What does that mean?
Where's the bathroom? I think I may have soiled myself.
Wow. I can't believe
Fantastic. Fantastic. Until next week, take care of yourselves and each other.
That's all, folks.